And I know that society has told you happy wife, happy life. It's a lie.
I know tons of men who won't go home, who'll stay out at the bar, who'll hang out and kick with their friends just because they don't want to confront their wife.
Now you angry. Now you rah. You know what I'm saying?
You're just expecting them to get it.
Right.
They don't get it.
They can't read your mind.
That we
and you shouldn't want them to.
You shouldn't want them to. Because that's... Get the oil. Please. Immediately.
Yeah.
Y'all, today we ain't gonna waste no time. We get right to it.
Yeah. Sorry in advance.
Yeah, this is gonna be a rough one. We're talking about accountability today.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to the official sponsor of the Love Does Cost a Thing podcast, Unashamed Apparel. Grab your gear today at shopunashamed.com and use the code LDCAT for 10% off your entire order.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
And welcome back to another episode of Love Does Cost a Thing.
It costs everything, baby.
Man, shout out to all the love bugs. That's you.
Yes.
Only if you subscribe.
Oh.
So that's the tall tale question. Did you subscribe yet?
Yeah.
If you didn't, hit the subscribe button below.
Yeah.
So that you can stay in the loop with all things LDCAT. That's Love Does Cost a Thing.
Yeah.
Y'all, today we ain't gonna waste no time. We get right to it.
Yeah. Sorry in advance.
Yeah, this is gonna be a rough one. We're talking about accountability today.
Mm-hmm.
Accountability is not an attack. And we're going to talk to you about how to give and receive accountability. So this conversation sparked off because Juanita and I were just reflecting on how a lot of times relationships fall short or they go through the ringer or they don't thrive as they should because we shy away from what would be considered uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
And particularly, and we'll talk more in depth, I've observed a lot of men. This is probably one of the reasons why I think a lot of men are afraid of commitment because they either don't know how to have those types of conversations or when they've had those conversations, it's blown up. So we're going to talk about how to give and receive accountability. Accountability. It's been a long day. Okay, I think Juanita said you wanted to first define accountability. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through my notes. I'm scrolling, but if you got something, you can go ahead and jump in. Go ahead. Define accountability for us.
Yeah, so when you think about accountability, it's just simply your partner literally encouraging you and reminding you of the commitment that you've made.
Yes.
That's it.
Period.
They're not trying to attack you. They're not trying to come for you. They're not trying to one-up you and be like, I thought you said you was going... Nah.
Yeah.
It's just simply, hey, you said you were going to do this. Let's check in about that.
Yes.
Hey, you said you wanted this. Where are we on that? Like, that's what the accountability is. And right. I think that's important to define first because it really sets the tone for how someone is open and willing enough to receive that type of feedback and accountability when you recognize the purpose of it. Because your partner just wants the best for you, right? Yes. And so specifically when we talk about holding your partner accountable, it's because when you don't do what you say you're going to do, it affects us. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you could be all in your feelings, mind your business, this don't got nothing to do with you, baby. We won.
So you is my business. Quite literally. Sorry.
Okay? Sorry. And so this is me minding my business.
This is action. In action.
And so the purpose of it is really, and you should want that. Right? Yeah. We were thinking the other day, we were just kind of talking, and this idea how many people are out here living these types of lives for social media or in public that wouldn't live that type of life if their spouse just simply held them accountable. Man. Or if they were open enough to listen to the feedback from their spouse. And that's kind of what kind of sparked this.
Man, I don't got nothing else to say. That was fire. I just want to reiterate that accountability is
I don't got nothing to say. I'm going to say something.
Always got to have something. Always be ready. Praise the Lord.
I love it.
But no, that's a really good point in defining accountability because the two shall become one. What's the point of committing your life to someone if you all are not on the same page?
Yeah.
don't have same core values, don't have common goals, and you all aren't both equally pursuing those goals.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Right.
Somebody's going to be dissatisfied. Somebody's going to be unhappy. And you know what? The one who is unhappy, in a lot of observation that I've had, the one who's unhappy, they harbor it. They don't even communicate it. And so that person slowly just dwindles away. But on the surface, they hitting them vacations. They going out for Valentine's Day. Doing all the stuff. Posting for the gram. Oh, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to take one out of my husband's book. We don't want you guys as a couple to be a public success and a private failure.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because the likes on Instagram, the views, like the reposts, the comments, like none of that matters if you go home and it's chaotic.
Yeah.
If you go home and there's no peace. If you go home and you guys don't even want to look at each other, talk to each other. None of that matters. And so what we're trying to do is help you to build that foundation. So whether you have 10,000 likes or not, whether people comment on you or not, whether you post about your relationship or not, you are secure in the union that God has put together.
Amen. The purpose of accountability is to support your partner or to be supported in staying committed. Okay? So for those of you all that are in your dating stage, your earlier stage, not married, right? If when you guys have those accountability style conversations and there's an unwillingness to lean in, or there's, aspects of how it's being done that are unhealthy, this is something to consider, because this is going to be one of the determining factors as to whether or not you're going to want to decide to stay in this. Does that make sense? Was that a word salad? Was that too much, or do I need to say it differently?
If you feel like you want to.
No, I just want to be. I want to be clear in saying that accountability is purposeful, and it's one of the indicators that you should have within yourself to say, "Oh, I want this."
Yeah.
Or I don't want this.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to go on now to talk a little bit about what that looks like on both sides, right? Like if I'm this spouse who needs to hold my spouse accountable, how do I go about that so that it's received? And then if you're the one who has to receive that level of feedback from your spouse who's trying to hold you accountable, how do you receive it so that that's something that works towards your goal as a union and not against it?
All right. I'll speak for the men. We have a lot of issues with pride. Sometimes women do too, but generally speaking, men have the pride issue. And so you have to put pride aside, whether you are holding your spouse or your wife, your girlfriend accountable, or if you are being held accountable. What this looks like for men, especially for those who have had an adverse experience when they try to express themselves, it looks like not holding it in.
That's good. Yeah.
I know tons of men who won't go home. Who'll stay out at the bar, who'll hang out and kick with their friends just because they don't want to confront their wife or be confronted by their wife. When it's like, bro, there's your house. Like, you can't, And so it looks like letting go of your pride on whatever end of the spectrum you're on. Whether you have to have the tough conversation or you are being held accountable. Whether you like it or not, it is a form of selfishness when you harbor it or when you evade and avoid.
Yeah.
Why is it selfish? Because you're protecting yourself and you're throwing your relationship under the bus. You just said, I'm going to protect me, bump us, forget till death do us part. Forget for richer or for poorer. Forget for better or for worse. Well, I ain't signed up for that yet. We not married. You ain't never going to get married.
Wow.
You're just not.
Yeah.
And so we got to really rid ourselves of selfishness. Biblical marriage is the pinnacle of selflessness. Outside of, obviously, the work of the cross in Christ. But even that is an image of what marriage is like. We're the bride of Christ. Okay? And so we got to rid our hearts of pride.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay prideful, your children will suffer. If you stay prideful, you won't have a relationship, a legacy to look back on. It'll be for nothing. You'll have all the money in the world and be by yourself. You'll have all the money in the world. Everybody outside of the house and at your job will love you, will sing, put your name in lights, and your children will be like, oh yeah, that's my dad. I'm not playing around. We live this life. And so you have to put pride aside. Do you want to jump in before I do the whole dissertation? Go ahead.
Sure, yeah. I was just thinking about why men might be afraid to confront us.
Let's go. Yeah.
Kind of bring things to us, and it could be because we are not as welcoming as we portray ourselves to be. Especially as African American women, we have been taught to get it out the mud. We've been taught the strong Black independent woman, you know. And so the thing about it is that I do believe our generation and the generation after us wants love, but they still have that hard up kind of like outside, you know, kind of like shell. And so while maybe the generations prior to us were like, bump that, I don't need a man, you know, we need a man.
I do. Right.
I need my man.
Right.
But then you still won't kind of like let him get too close. Right. And so this idea that you project upon your spouse that he has to be perfect. And when he's not perfect, you start to treat him like your son.
Oh, can I just dig in that a little bit more? Because men put so much emphasis on what they can do rather than who they are.
Help us.
The greatest sense of pride for a man is how much money he has, how big his house is, how fine his wife is, how well his children are doing. And I get it. All those things are like important. Exhibit A, got a fine wife. Praise the Lord. Right? But if all those things are stripped away, who are you, bro? And so when a man approaches his woman, supposedly his safe space, and he falls apart, he doesn't want to get trampled on. He doesn't want to be made to feel as if he can't make a mistake or he has to be perfect. So I resonate, not personally, but just through observation, like strongly with the fact that a lot of men feel as though they have to perform. Yeah. Many men are in performance mode, y'all.
Yeah.
In performance mode.
Yeah. And you shouldn't have to perform for your spouse.
No, you should not.
Because that's the space where you can be 100% yourself.
Yes.
Like this idea of unconditional love. Like people throw it around, but it really is important to a successful relationship because unconditional love says whether we're good, we're bad, we're ugly, we're up, we're down, you're right, you're wrong. Like, I'm going to love you. You know, and there's no level of right, there's no level of wrong, there's no level of, you know, outside noise that's going to revoke my love from you.
Yes.
And so I think it's important that when you get to that space, you have to be willing to take the risk. You have to be willing to be open enough to be like, hey, listen, like, this is what I'm feeling, right? And as a woman, you have to be willing to listen. And I know that society has told you, happy wife, happy life. It's a lie.
That's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you guys are becoming one. So you are equally as important and as honorable as he is. And so there can't be a way where he is only serving you and he never gets served. And I'm not saying you out here just not serving your man. I'm just saying that it can't be one-sided. It can't be that he's all wrong and you're always right. And so you have to get to that space where you humble yourself and be like, hey, listen, just because he tells me something wrong with him doesn't mean he's saying that it's not wrong with me. Meaning, right, to put it plain, your husband said he's tired and you was up all night with the baby. Well, how can he be tired? I'm tired. well, both things can be true.
Yeah, they can be.
You can be tired from being up all night with the baby. And he can also be tired from whatever it is he's tired from. And so I think when he comes to you to say those things, you can't retract in your mind and go to your needs, right? You have to stay there with him and listen to his needs. Help him to see whatever it is that you can do to help fulfill those needs. And then once that kind of conversation happens, if you still feel like there's a need that you need to communicate, feel free to do that.
Yeah.
But you can't hijack you can't hijack his moment because you also have a need and you're thinking to yourself, well, what about me?
Yeah.
And it's like him coming to you is not forsaking you.
Yeah.
It's not forsaking what is going on with you. He's just saying, hey, listen, in this moment I need some help. In this moment I'm feeling this type of way. In this moment I'm having these kind of thoughts. Not he don't want to hear you rambling, because then what he's saying is, okay, boom, I can't go there no more.
Yeah.
And then he starts to go other places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that a really good principle is to, when you are being held accountable, is to look at the situation objectively and not take things personally. Objectively meaning just look at the facts. Okay. Now we can talk about how the facts are being delivered, because that absolutely matters, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be guns blazing. You can't just be, throwing haymakers, so to speak, at your wife, right? She's for you. She is not against you. You can't talk to her like how you talk to the fellas. Mm-hmm. You can't talk to her like how you might talk to your sister. She's not your sister. She's your wife. You have to be gentle. You have to be kind. That doesn't mean tell a lie.
Right. Please don't lie to us.
It does, yeah. And this is the part.
It don't help us. You just feeding that happy wife, happy life.
That goes back to the pride thing. That goes back to the pride thing, because you're trying to withhold the truth from your wife, thinking, oh, let me just be nice to her.
Right, yeah.
Your wife don't need you to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
She don't need you to be nice. She needs you to be kind.
There we go. Mm-hmm.
She needs you to be kind. You can kindly tell her, hey, this offended me when you did this and when you said that.
Mm.
You better kill that pride.
Mm. You
better kill that pride, bro.
Yeah, it just makes me think about when we hold it in and we don't say it, we just get hurt all over again.
Yes.
Like we're continually hurting ourselves.
Yes.
Because it's like it happens again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like, it's like they're a repeat offender.
Yeah.
And it's like now you're holding them hostage, right? It makes me think about, like, I watch like cop shows. And so it makes me think about like a first time offender, right? Versus like a multiple offender.
Yes.
Right? The charges that are brought up on those two individuals, in those two individuals are different.
Yes.
And so this idea that, when your spouse offends you the first time, it's like, check it.
Excuse me. Right.
Say it.
Right.
So that they don't purposely and unknowingly do it again continuously.
Yeah.
Because now it's been the 10th time, and now you're not thinking, oh, let me give them grace. Let me show them love. Let me make sure that, I'm being kind. Now you angry. Now you rah, rah, rah. You know what I'm saying?
You're just expecting them to get it.
Right.
They don't get it.
They can't read your mind.
That's one of the first things that we learn.
You shouldn't want them to.
You shouldn't want them to. Because that's... Get the oil. Please. Immediately.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So look at it objectively. Do your best not to take things personally. And if you are holding your partner accountable, be kind.
Watch your mouth.
Do not lie to them. Do not just be nice to them, or don't tell them the truth.
Here we go. Don't play semantics.
Yes.
Don't do it. You know what you're doing.
Yes. Tell them the truth.
You know what you're doing.
Tell them the truth.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. A lot of people feel that telling it like it is telling the truth. No. That's immature.
And that's disrespectful.
Get your vocabulary up.
Right.
Get a thesaurus.
Right.
Write it down. Seriously. Write it down beforehand if you have to.
Right. Get in a sober state of mind.
Yes. And stick to the script.
Right.
Stick to the script. Because again, accountability is purposeful to redirect, to get back on the same page, to remind you of what you committed to, right? And so I'm not trying to offend you by telling you X, Y, or Z. I'm trying to put it on your radar so that we can tackle life together in a better way. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. I like that idea because it also welcomes the feedback when you recognize that, hey, this person that I share my life with is bringing up a problem. And they're not bringing up a problem to say that I'm wrong or I'm the one committing the problem per se, but they're bringing it up to consult me in how we can fix that problem. And that changes your perspective, and it changes your heart towards being open and being willing to hear it, because now you no longer hear you're wrong, you're bad, you're, you know, blah, 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 right? You hear we. I was reading on some things for therapy, and a therapist was talking about how important these I statements are, right? Especially when you are trying to communicate to someone. So you may be, like, someone here may be saying, okay, great, I'm in a sober state of mind, I'm saying in the most kind way possible, but my partner is fragile, which we know that. People come with a lot of trauma, and it doesn't matter how nice or how kind or how sweet or how eloquent our words are, they get offended, right? And so I'm thinking about that person who is in that boat where their partner is not yet able to take on, I guess, their journey in healing through their trauma, right? They have some time or some ways to go. And so I'm thinking about this idea of introducing kind of like these I statements. And so instead of it being like, you did this to me, because now all your partner here is you, meaning them, meaning they wrong and you right, you can use I. I feel this way when this happens, right? Not like, you disrespected me when you talk to me like that. Or I feel disrespected when you share it that way.
Perfect.
Right? Very different tones.
Yes.
Very different ways to communicate literally the same exact thing. Right? And so that, even just that little switch of like, I even helps you to not hold that person hostage, is what we kind of say.
Yeah.
Like, not making that person the fallback guy or fallback girl, but really just being like, hey, listen, this thing happened. I don't like that it happened. How can we figure that out together? Because we can't keep doing this.
Yeah. I want you to see conflict as something that is y'all's problem.
Yeah.
Not yours or hers or his, but y'all's. Okay? If the house is burning down, the only thing that I'm concerned about is making sure that everybody in this house is safe. Period. That's the number one priority. I don't care how the thing got lit. Where do we go from here? How do we get to safety? And so this is a y'all thing, not a you thing.
Yeah, which is hard to accept on both ends, right?
Sure.
Because if someone offends you, you're thinking to yourself, but you actually did do it.
Yes.
You did speak to me that way, or you did forget about this, or you did not handle me with care like how you said you were, or you did drop the ball in this area. But I think, again, it goes to, if your partner wrong, y'all both wrong.
Yes.
And if you wrong, y'all both wrong.
And also, this is what you signed up for. This is a part of what you signed up for. This is a part of relationships. This is a part of till death do us part.
Yeah.
This is a part of it.
Yeah.
You don't just get the good. You don't just get the glamorous. You don't just get the things that you want.
Yeah.
It comes with, it's fully loaded package.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know, although one could like draw this conclusion, but we're talking about couples who, for the most part, are two kind of like healthy minded people that are able to kind of come to that conclusion on their own. We're not talking about someone who may need a little more support in that area. And if you have that type of relationship, that's different. You need to consult like a professional. But we're just basically saying kind of like very foundational, very generalized, like couples. Do you agree?
I do. I do. And I think that personalities come to play, especially when conflict is involved. And so if you are real type A, and you don't have a type A partner, you're going to have to reel it back. You have to really forsake your preference and how you argue. Yeah. Because there's only going to be so much of that that your partner can take. Quick plug for the Love Bugs. If you guys want to have a session with Juanita and I, you can. There's a link below. We can actually give you guys a personality assessment that's going to help you better understand who you are. Really not even better understand, but illuminate who you are. and your partner illuminate who you guys both are that you may not outrightly convey, and how to work together. You guys got to learn to work together. We didn't have the personality assessment. We had to figure it out the hard way, but it's beautiful, right? Nonetheless, the point that I'm saying to you is you guys have to learn each other so much or so well that when you guys have quarrels, you will know the best practices as to how to resolve the conflict, how to get to safety, how to get to common ground. And a lot of the conflict kind of gets stuck in our personalities and in our preferences and in our emotions, or taking things personally. And so we could absolutely help you guys with that. If you're interested, there's a link in the description below. Did we talk about, we wanted to talk about how to give and receive accountability. Did we talk about how to receive accountability? We can just quickly go over it real quick, or go deeply into it. I think that you receive accountability with humility. I think that it is okay for you to ask questions for clarification, because you may not see what your partner is saying off the bat. Now, even if you don't agree with it, if it offended your partner, at the very least, I think that you owe them you owe them the respect enough to acknowledge their offense. Okay?
Can you give us an example of what that may look like?
Yeah, so if I offended Juanita and I didn't know that I offended Juanita, and she brought it up to me and said, hey, you did this, and I don't think that was something that she should be offended about, I don't have the right to say, oh, girl, no, you gonna get divorced. You gonna be single. No, you better take accountability. I'm so sorry. I did not know that this offended you. Don't say, girl, I didn't think that was offensive. Don't say it like that. Even though you think it, right? You're perfectly fine to think that, but it's not about you in that moment. It's about the one who was offended. Does that make sense? Is that clear enough? Okay, I don't need to beat a dead horse. I think that we have to receive accountability with humility, because it's easy to take offense. It's easy to take offense. Now, after you've acknowledged, let's say in that instance, you've acknowledged the person, your partner being offended, and you do have clarifying questions, be careful how you present them, right? Make sure that they are not accusatory. Make sure that they are not sarcastic. Make sure that they are not belittling or degrading. Make sure that they don't have that extra sauce on it, that extra tone. Because at the end of the day, again, when you guys are in conflict, the number one goal, this house is burning, y'all. It's a little ember in the corner, but something is on fire. And if it catches something flammable, hold on, that little corner is going to turn into a whole section. And that whole section is going to turn into a whole floor. And before we know it, all of our rooms are up in a blaze. Up in flames, excuse me. Put the fire out. Put the fire out, okay? And so you lead with humility. You receive accountability with humility. Shout out to our mentors and our covering, our accountability. Whenever we do, not even necessarily for like situations like this, but just generally speaking, like we are accountable to spiritual leaders. And so if need be, go sit down with your pastor. Oh my goodness. Can I just say this? I'm sorry. I just want to say this one thing. It's totally off the beaten path. But if you go to a church and you don't know your pastor, or you don't know any leader in the church, you don't have a church. You're not at a church. You're not in a body. You're not connected. Okay? So maybe it's the church you're in, or maybe it's your connection to the church you're in. Maybe you need to get connected more. How about that? Okay? You need, especially in situations where that little ember turned into a whole section of the house real quick, something came up that's been hidden for some years or some months, you need some outside accountability. Somebody with some wisdom that can speak life into y'all, that can say, hey, I think you should think about this differently. No, bro, you're off. You're wrong. She's right. You need to realign how you speak to her, or you're going to find yourself divorced. You're going to find yourself picking your kids up on the weekends, watching another man raise your kids. So get plugged in, get connected to the church that you're in. If you don't know nobody, you're not in church. You might as well just watch online. So get connected so that you can have that touch that Jesus has instituted for us to be protected, y'all, in our relationships. I'm sorry. Okay, I think we're done. Do you have anything else that you want to say? Are you sure? Did you guys watch last week? Did you figure out the gender of J3? If you did, put it in the comment section below. Final announcements. What you got, Juanita?
Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay, we hope that you enjoy this. We hope that your relationship is better. We hope that you feel better. You feel more encouraged about tackling these things head on, because ultimately, like, it's only going to propel your relationship forward.
Yeah.
And you deserve to live some good times with your partner. And that's all we want for you. We living good over here, so we want you living good over there.
Absolutely. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
You already know this is Love Does Cost a Thing. We're signing out, but we'll catch you in the next one.